everyone. It's DeLisle. I'm doing a little surprise Instagram live thing, which I'm terrified of, because what if I say the wrong thing? But I have to address a kerfuffle. There's a kerfuffle that happened on Twitter. I'm not calling it that other thing. It's Twitter. Anyway, I don't even hardly go on there anymore because there's so many weird people with fake blue check marks who yell at me. So I stay away from that site these days. But a situation happened where a filmmaker made a Scooby animation, and it's beautiful. But the problem with it is that they used AI voices for actors without their consent, and no compensation or anything, and I got really angry about it. I may have overreacted just a little tiny bit. I am a single mother with 3 children, and I'm a little bit overwhelmed sometimes. And so when that happened, I got pretty upset about it, and I tweeted, because they tweeted it out and then said, watch this animation. I used AI for DeLisle and another actor. But it's okay because I just don't have the money to hire them. So I hope they understand. And I was like, no, that's bad. And so I tweeted, I will never work for you. And I will tell every actor I know not to work for you because you're a thief, or something to that effect. I can't remember. I didn't know anything about this filmmaker. I didn't know their age or anything. And people keep going, DeLisle yelled at some kid and she's really childish about it and she handled it completely wrong. But no, I don't think so. It's like an emergency. This is an emergency that computers are taking artists' livelihoods away. I mean, I'll be fine. Who I'm worried about is the future of voice acting. And I meet people every weekend who say, I want to do voice acting. I want to get into it. How do I do that? There's so many people who want to do it. And if we start letting things slide like this and not reacting, like maybe inappropriately, I mean, I feel like we're at war with computers. It's like an emergency, and I needed to speak out about it. It turns out the filmmaker was on the young side. People keep saying they're a kid. They're not a kid. They're an adult. But the great thing is that the person immediately was sorry about it. And I said, look, hey, thank you so much for apologizing. Thank you for reaching out. If you do the right thing, there's no hard feelings and we can move forward. But people are like, you attempted to blackball that person. When you behave unethically in our business, I'm sorry, that blackballing is a thing that can happen. And I mean, all I was doing was warning other actors, as I would warn anyone. Like on Twitter, I was saying, so, because people were like, why, that was really mean the way that you worded that person. I was like, I'm the victim here. Why am I in trouble? Oh, people were so mad at me. One guy said, I'm going to use your voice in everything, and there's nothing you can do about it just because you acted like a jerk to this kid, which not a kid. Anyway, and then the person said, well, I had no other choice. I have no budget. I had to use AI. That is BS. Every week I meet people who want to do voiceovers. And that's who I feel so terrible for. There's so many talented people out there that want to do this. And I said, you can find actors that are non-union and just starting out and probably would have done your project for free just to have the experience. And, I did a bunch of stuff for cheap before I joined the union just to have the experience of doing it. And Baldur's Gate, I think that was a non-union project. I was not yet union, and I think I did Viconia for, I think, $50 at the time, which paid the same amount as the waitressing shift that I faked sick so that I could go be Viconia. Anyway, AI is not the answer. It's also bad. It's bad. So, if you're defending AI over, because all these people were saying, you don't need to apologize to her. You just keep doing what you're doing. And I'm just thinking, you're defending a computer over an actor, and you're hurting future actors. Because I'll be fine. I've already had a big career, and I've saved my money, and I've got to put my kids through college, but I'll figure it out, But I just worry about all those wonderful people I meet every weekend. And you guys are just the best and so talented. People come up and do these voices for me, and I'm like, oh my God, you need to be on everything. You're so good. And if this becomes the new thing, then we're all doomed. And there's not going to be, my kids go to a school that's just wonderfully multicultural, and they're always learning about different stories from different cultures. And there was one of the Chinese culture called the Nightingale, about this emperor. Am I getting to? Maybe I'm rambling here, but anyway, this emperor who really enjoyed the singing of this talented singer. He sang these beautiful songs, but then they built a machine that sang just as beautifully as the the story's called the Nightingale. But they built a little mechanical nightingale, and it really hurt the singer's feelings. And he went off and he didn't make music anymore. And then this just was this little machine who only knew one song, and then the machine broke and they didn't have that music. And then they invited the singer back to do that. So, I mean, humans are special and artists are sensitive. I mean, so maybe I was a little harsh, but we're sensitive beings. That's what makes us, that's how we're able to do what we do and tell the stories that we tell. And we feel deeply. And I was pretty hurt. It felt like a slap in the face. Oh, and then he said, well, when I get money, I would hire you for projects. I'm using AI now, but when I get a budget, I'll hire you. And I just was like, no, because you just violated my trust by stealing my voice. That's not good. That's like a guy, like, I liken it to someone like grabbing you inappropriately or something and going, well, I just wanted to do that now, but someday I'm going to ask you to be my girlfriend. And it's like, no, you're not. I don't want. And then for me to get in trouble by saying, I don't want to work for you and I don't want to, and I'm going to tell my friends what you did. People got really mad at me about that. It was hard for my brain to wrap around that. But anyway, so I just wanted to put a human face, which ironic, but I wanted to put a human face to this whole situation. I don't want to be villainized. I'm a nice person. I do free things for people all the time. Don't tell SAG. Sorry, SAG. Sorry, AFTRA. But there have been students and people who have said, could you do this thing for my student project? And I've sent things in. It's about consent for me. It really is. And I did a My Little Pony. I played Derpy for these really talented animators who wanted, they didn't have any budget, and they just asked me if I would be part of it, and I did it. And professionally, I hired the studio and I went in and recorded it for them, and it turned out really great. If you want to ever look it up on YouTube, Derpy's Muffins or something, I think. But anyway, it was wonderful, and they were so talented. I'm not against young filmmakers. I think that's phenomenal, but you can't just steal. You have to ask. And we're actors. We creative people want to collaborate and do things with people. We want to. We champion those things like that, but not when it's done without consent. So that's my thing. And maybe I was a little harsh. Honestly, I didn't know that the person he's in his early 20s. I didn't know that. But it doesn't matter. It's still wrong. Okay. So I just wanted people to stop being mean to me on Twitter. And it is called Twitter. I'm not calling it that other thing. So, I'm a nice person. And if you ever come meet me at a con, you will know that. I will give you a big hug, and I will, and I just really adore all you people, and I don't want to be yelled at anymore for just standing up for myself, because we have to stand up for ourselves. And if you're an artist and someone's stealing your work, stick up for yourself. It's hard. I had a friend who had her beautiful, she drew a beaver for Canada with all these beautiful things. Her name's Jessica. She's amazing. But someone took it and started putting it on T-shirts and stuff. And there was really, nobody got mad at her for being mad about that. Anyway, champion artists, real artists. My next record's coming out, and I hired a real artist to do a beautiful painting for the cover. And I love artists of all stripes. So we need to cherish our artists, because we're just sensitive little people, and we're not little machines, and people are more important than computers. And that's my final thought on that. So thanks you guys for stopping by. I never do these. I'm always terrified I'm gonna just say something I can never take back.